Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, party people. Roy Livy here with a brand new series on the channel, all surrounding the newish football-based NFT game Ultimate Champions. Now, this video will be more of an introduction to Ultimate Champions for anyone who hasn't heard of it before, and I've been playing and keeping an eye on this game during its alpha stage for the last few months or so, and on the 20th of April, this game came out of the alpha stage into its fully fledged beta stage. Now, I will clarify, I'm not sponsored or an ambassador or anything like that for Ultimate Champions, so please don't yell at me like you all did to Leeds Away on Twitter. That would make me very sad. I don't like getting yelled at. But enough rambling. What is Ultimate Champions? In simple terms, it is essentially a SoRare clone, so to speak, although so far they're bringing in teams of a lesser stature than SoRare have. For example, UC, that's slang for Ultimate Champions. They currently have a fair few Championship and League One clubs onboarded from England. We've got the likes of Blackpool, Sunderland, Charlton, and hey, maybe one day they'll add my Bristol Rovers. We've already been sponsored by Football Index before, and we all know how that one worked out.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
And basically, players will score points based on their real-life performances, much like SoRare and FPL. Let's look at Jayden Stockley of Charlton here, for example. We can see he has averaged 142 score over his last 5 games. If we view his profile and scroll down, we can see some recent matches of his. And looking at Charlton's 3-2 loss to Cambridge here, we see the stats behind his 174 score. He got a goal, top bins apparently, had a few shots on target and so on. So same as any other fantasy football game really. The only thing I'm unclear on is where they're getting these stats from. My best guess is Opta, but I honestly have no idea, so that would be nice to get some clarification on that. And one fairly big difference from UC to SoRare is the variation on the gameplay. SoRare's main method of play is through So5, where you pick a 5-man team, and UC is going with the tried and true starting 11 like the FPL does. No mention of subs yet, but I'm sure it's something the UC team might consider it down the line. And with all that said and done, let's look at my team. As I mentioned, the game has just entered the beta stage, so everything has been reset. We're all starting from zero, and this means I've had to draft a new team for my account. Kind of awkward timing for the game to enter the beta stage, what with all the onboarded leagues ending in the next month or so, but I think that just gives them a good opportunity to revise some things over the summer and allow people to have stronger teams heading into next season, so probably the smart thing to do. I do have a 100 champ budget here, which is UC's native token. I'll speak more on that later, and this allows me to initially draft 11 common cards into my account to kick things off for Game Week 1. Now, UC currently has 4 variations of cards. You've got your common card, which are unlimited and untradeable, and then there's currently epic, mythic, and unique versions with a finite total of 330 and 1 respectively. I also think there's plans to add a rare version of cards, so a total of 3,000 of them would be available in the not too distant future, and these cards will grant you a percentage boost on your player's score for a game week. Back to my draft then, and as an English Football League fan, I've gone for that angle with my initial selections. In fact, I've gone for an almost full League One team here. Patterson in goal, really good young keeper for Sunderland, Sirkin, Johnston, Ward and Kent in defence, hoping the Peterborough lads there do well next season once Peterborough are likely relegated. Winchester, Gilby, Burrows and Barlow in midfield, definitely the weak point of my draft, but hopefully this is something I can strengthen pretty early doors. And then a very strong pairing up top of Stewart and Stockley, and that's something I'm really looking forward to with UC, is the whole English Football League aspect of it. As a big fan of lower league football in England, it will be exciting to hopefully have a strong fantasy game I can base around those teams and cards. Will definitely help with any scouting I want to do, having a good knowledge of these leagues. So yeah, entering this team into Game Week 1 and hoping they get me a good return. Now we can see my selected players have an average score of 1,150 over the last 5 games. Not great, but not terrible considering this is all common cards for the first initial game week. And if we go to the play page, we can see the rewards for the game week and the scores needed to hit those brackets. So the 600 points should be achievable by anyone who puts a lineup out basically, and then the 1,300 points is likely going to be the main aim for managers in game week 1. So 1,300 points rewards managers with 2 commons and 250 MGC, another token UC will be using for this game. 1,750 points may be possible, but I think it's unlikely anyone will hit that this week. You basically need all 11 players to average 150 or so points on game week 1, which just seems like a big ask with only common cards, but we will see. And then for 2,100 and 2,300 points, you start winning epic and mythic cards, which I'm sure will be cool when the game is in full throttle come next season. Right now it's just league play, but I believe there are plans to add tournament mode and something called Clash at some point, so we'll be keen to see what those are all about. Now the biggest difference between UC and SoRare comes from the pack section of the game. SoRare has an auction market, no packs, whereas UC is going with the pack model more akin to FIFA Ultimate Team, for instance. So if we have a look at the jumbo pack here, we can see there's 750 of them going live next Monday, so may try and add some funds on here to buy a few. I will caveat though and say with any game model involving packs or cryptocurrency in general, do only put on what you can afford to lose, or it won't affect you if you lose your money on your investment. I'll be putting funds on purely from a fun and speculative point of view, and hey, if the game goes tits up, it goes tits up. I won't lose any sleep over it. Now going back to the jumbo pack here, we can see they have a chance of dropping an epic card, otherwise likely a common card, 15% chance over each drop of getting an epic, so I think overall a little under 20% chance of having an epic drop in any given pack. I don't know, know, maybe. Not really a math guy, but someone else in the comments might be able to figure that one out. And then we've also got the marketplace here where managers will be able to sell, buy and trade cards. Nothing on there yet, obviously, but will be interesting to see what prices cards start going for when the game really gets going. Now, to play devil's advocate here, as you have to with any new project, I will say going down the pack route with this game is definitely going to be off-putting for some individuals and brands. I know EA have done it over the last decade or so with Ultimate Team, but there's been a lot of media reporting about the issues around packs in recent years, with talk of EA having to redevelop their model if packs get banned in some countries like they did in Belgium. Now, I assume UC is a game for over 18, so perhaps less of an issue as the whole pack problem is more focused around kids and gambling, but yeah, just something worth considering when looking at the whole picture, as who knows if UC eventually gets looked at as needing a gambling license or anything like that. Another aspect of potential concern is that UC looks to be propped up by its own currency in the champ token, so any cards and tokens will be worth essentially nothing if everything collapses. Now, I'm definitely no crypto expert, so maybe the MGC token UC uses might mitigate this issue, but I suppose it's like anything in life, value is only derived from what we apply to it, or some economical shit like that, I don't fucking know. But at least, if you so wish, you can purely play the game as a free-to-play aspect using only common cards. I'm sure early doors managers will be able to build up a nice little team without having to invest, but as always, DYOR, do your own research regarding this game to see if it is right for you. I know the game is currently filled with a lot of Sorare users and managers as well, so I think if people are expecting a similar trajectory in terms of card value like Sorare had, then perhaps they're being significantly optimistic. But as I say, I'm happy to give this a go and see where the game takes me. So yeah, that's about it for today. Hopefully my team does well for this first game week, and as I said, I'll try and open some packs on Monday. Think of all the clickbait pack opening titles I'll be able to do. Oh, can't wait. Not sure how often I'll post videos on UC. Obviously my main direction with videos is Sorare, but I'm sure this will be interesting enough to post some videos on as well for sure. So do like and subscribe and all that jazz to see more of this shit in the future, and I will catch you next time.